Coming up, Samsung launch a headset, ChatGPT launch a browser, and Zoom launch a new accessible podcast maker thing.
Ooh.
This is Double Tap, where blind people talk tech.
Tech show.
Here's Stephen Scott and Shaun Preece.
Honest. Oh, dear. I feel we should get Rob just to say that at the start. It's a tech show, honest, and just, leave it at that.
But we are brim full of tech. I've got to say, this episode.
What's going on
news.
this past month? I know they say that these 2 months, September and October, really are the big tech months. And, you go through a couple of days and you think, there's not that much going on. There's nothing happening. And then all of a sudden, boom, we get tons and tons of this.
Breaking news.
Yeah, breaking news. Samsung launching exactly what we said on the show yesterday. They would launch a brand new Android XR headset. Shaun Preece, are you excited? I think I asked you this yesterday. Is the answer the same?
Yeah, so yesterday I was very, very, very excited because of the platform, right? It's Android, basically. So all the apps in the App Store you can use. Oh, that's exciting. That is cool.
Be my eyes, Ira.
Well, yeah, hopefully. Yes, absolutely.
Are you sure?
There's no reason why not. You can use absolutely anything in the Play Store you can use. There are going to be apps that are specifically designed for the XR platform, which could be nice. YouTube was an example, watching your favorite YouTube videos. But again, coming down to the hardware itself, right? I'm sure it's very cool. I need a description of what it looks like, Stephen Scott. We'll get to that. But this is a VR headset, and for that reason alone, I'm not that excited about the hardware.
Yeah, well, it is a VR headset, although they are saying XR because it's mixed reality. What that means is that you can see the outer world, so the world, the reality around you, but you can also, I guess, you can merge that with augmented reality.
Digital. Yeah. You overlay digital content over the real world.
You know, one example that's often given is you can have a 200-inch TV in your living room, even if you don't have space for a 200-inch TV, because essentially you can just have one floating in virtual space in front of you. A lot of examples are also around things like having monitors on your desk. Instead of having an actual monitor, you can just have a virtual monitor or multiple monitor set up. Lots of examples of this. Gaming is a big thing for. Look, can I be honest? This is essentially, you remember getting hands-on in the Apple Store that day when we were together with the Apple Vision Pro, right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
That's what this is. That's basically what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with the Apple Vision Pro.
Oh, you mean hardware design, the form factor of it is
exactly the same. And so not that dissimilar. I mean, it's similar and it's also not similar in some ways. But ultimately, we're talking about that VR headset design. Think Meta Quest, if you've ever tried one of those kind of headsets. It's that kind of design and style.
So this is something I'm not going to be wearing outside to give me help with navigating around or something like that. That's kind of my point. I see these headsets as home devices, right? And I'm feeling kind of bad for not being excited by it because I will say, the way they've implemented this does seem cool. You can connect any video source to it. You can connect your PC or I believe even the Mac to it. Any video source you can connect to it. You can control it. You can have that 200-inch, monitor in front of you, which actually is very cool. And a lot of the time with this sort of VR headsets, we're talking about almost a closed-down ecosystem. This does seem, and this is mainly thanks to Google and Android, this does seem very open. So, it's a very cool technology, but again, I'm just not sure how useful it is for me. Just the VR headset is a very visual thing.
Oh, look, totally. That's exactly what this is. This is all about visuals. Now, we can talk a little bit about accessibility because you were reading an article this morning. You sent it to me. And, again, a bit like the Meta Display announcement, we kind of got a bit surprised at the fact that it's got all this accessibility built in. So it's got TalkBack in there. It's got lots of low vision tech as well. I guess, magnification, zoom, all that. Whether it can do the kind of things that the Vision Pro can do, I don't know yet. But it does have TalkBack in there. It does have a screen reader. You control it with your hands in the same way that you do with the Vision Pro. Everything's on pinches and hand movements and all that.
Yeah, well, you say we're surprised. I was kind of hoping it would be there because, again, this is based on Android, right? And if you Google Android XR accessibility, you'll find the Google document on this, the support page. And a lot of the features that are on there, you will find in your phone version of Android. So that's very cool. Again, though, that's for Google. I'm not entirely sure that Samsung wouldn't have messed around with this. I can't say for 100% that Android XR on the Samsung is going to be exactly the same. They may, play around with some of the accessibility features. But the fact of the matter is there is going to be TalkBack on there. Now, how that's implemented, if it's going to be incredibly useful or not, just don't know at the minute. But it's very cool that the accessibility is there. Again, as we said for Meta, with the displays, the very fact that it's being launched with accessibility is a positive. It's great, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably for those people who have got enough vision to perhaps maybe see pictures or be able to see the images on the screen, but perhaps use the TalkBack around the menu system, kind of like we were talking the other day about the detail aspect of life, being able to see the details. If you're struggling with that, this is where TalkBack could be really useful. There's some people who may be able to enjoy the game experience or be able to enjoy the images, the videos, but would really struggle to see those menus. And if you can add TalkBack to that to help, then that's great.
Yeah, there's magnification, there's color filters, there's high contrast, there's font size. There was an interesting one in there, and I'm not sure if this is in your generic Android anyway, but there was outlining as well for highlighting. It said the outlines of images. Now, I don't know if that just means...
I've heard about this, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that's just static images or if you could use that with live video feed. So you could get a nice sort of outline of objects. That would be very cool, very Terminator-like. But yeah, again, for low vision, this is good. But like I say, I feel bad by not being excited, but it's all about the hardware. If this was a pair of glasses, I would be over the moon.
Yeah.
It makes me even more excited to see what Google's going to release when they previewed at the Google I.O., when they previewed their sunglasses style, XR. Now I'm interested in what that's going to be.
And that's also with Samsung, right? So Samsung and Google are basically doing this together. So this whole project is them working together on this, which makes a lot of sense. And look, we've said this before. Well, look, it does, because you've got, these software people who, can make hardware, of course, do make hardware. But there's no denial that Samsung make really sexy hardware. So when it comes to the glasses and the headset, I think headsets are always going to look a bit headset-y. So, it's like, they're always going to look at a kind of sameness until obviously we can start to miniaturize this tech. But ultimately it is an immersive experience, which means blocking all the light out from around you and, you being completely immersed into that world. So, I guess it has to have that style. Where and I think also about like ski masks, that kind of thing, that complete closed out design. But when it comes to glasses, of course, that's very different. And with the Meta Ray-Bans being around, and I think because they came first, we're starting to look at this from a fashion perspective, which is good. Because, of course, that means that they are being designed to be fashionable. Although, I will make a little prediction here, it's a tiny little prediction about this in the future, that I think that the fashion style will change. I think that thicker glasses will start to be popular because the tech is in there, and the tech makes it cool, so therefore it becomes fashionable. I think the fashion industry,
is back.
Yeah, exactly. The fashion industry will kind of lead on this a little bit.
Nerdwear.
Nerdwear.
You're probably right. There's something about. Even when it comes to clothes, let alone headphones and things, that branding, that prominent branding is almost a fashion statement in itself. So, yeah, you're probably right, actually.
Now, at the event, which for us was this morning, but for if you were in I think in the East Coast or East Coast of America, you would probably be catching this about 10 o'clock last night. This was a video that they posted on their or at their event, which gives us a sense of how the whole thing works. So if you want a better understanding of what the Galaxy XR headset is, then listen to this.
To unlock multimodal AI's full potential, AI-first devices must understand the user and their context in richer ways through sight, sound, and gestures. We started with the headset, which provides the highest level of immersion. To bring Galaxy XR to life, we had to rethink how users interact with AI. The pass-through cameras and depth sensor capture your physical surroundings with precision, providing a basis for contextual understanding. Eye-tracking cameras follow your gaze in real time to recognize what you're looking at. And advanced perception hardware and algorithms understand your head and hand movements through expert calibration and verification. Gestures and voice control with advanced voice separation technology offer full intuitive control of Galaxy XR.
Gemini, what are the people holding in their hands and why?
The people in the video are holding light sticks, which are often used at concerts.
All of this requires real-time, simultaneous processing of multiple sensors, powered by Qualcomm's Snapdragon X R2 Plus Gen 2 chip. Of course, for the user experience to be seamless, we iterated on the ergonomics and comfort. We extensively studied diverse head shapes and employed computational design for a personalized fit and greater immersion. This is just the beginning. Galaxy XR seamlessly combines multimodal AI and XR experiences to set the foundation for an ecosystem of future devices to come, opening up a new chapter in how we interact with AI.
Cool. Yeah, it does sound good. I will say I love the groovy music as well. But yeah.
Oh, it's very good. I like the diverse head shape, Stephen, just for you.
That's just for me, I think. Will it fit my strangely round ball-shaped head? Thanks, Mum, for reminding me about that. It's interesting because, of course, you've got the Snapdragon chip in there, which is, again, not a huge surprise. It'll be ARM-based. And this will be rather powerful, I imagine. I mean, one thing I will say about these videos and especially these events from Samsung, despite the sexiness of the tech, they don't sell it in the way that Apple does. I've got to say, Apple do a fantastic job of selling you on what was the new one for the Vision Pro? The dual knit design headset.
Oh, yeah.
Thing. And it's like, they really kind of delve into, now whether it's just all marketing nonsense or not, I don't know.
It is.
But it just sounds nice, right? And they just say, yeah, it'll be comfortable. And it will be, I'm sure. I'm sure they're going to design it not to feel like, you've clamped a vice to your head.
2 monitors. 4K, by the way, for each eye.
4K,
Blue Visioners,
yeah.
you may love that.
But the one thing I was most interested in was the weight of this, because the Vision Pro is quite heavy. So looking up the stats on this, the Vision Pro is 750 grams, which is 1.7 pounds. Or you could go for the Galaxy XR headset, which is 545 grams. That's 1.2 pounds. So I think until you try this kind of thing on, I don't know what that really means. But I do know trying on the Vision Pro, you can imagine after a while your neck would start to be getting a bit sore. So hopefully this being a bit lighter, obviously not made of, some kind of metal, or whatever they use on the Vision Pro. Titanium, is it, or aluminium?
Platinum,
lead.
lead.
I don't know. Lead. Yeah, probably lead.
But either way,
absolutely lead.
Even the weight, right? It's more how they handle the ergonomics. Is that the word?
It's not the way you said it, but yes, you're
ergonomics.
No.
I believe that's
You added a
exactly
letter
how
in
it's
there.
pronounced.
It's absolutely
AI told me.
not.
Ergonomics.
No, you're making it worse.
Ergonomics.
You're getting the words right. Right, okay, I'm going to help you here. Ergo.
Please don't.
Say it after me. Ergonomics.
It's not nomics. Where's the g? Gonomics. Yeah. So the ergonomics.
I see the education system in Britain is doing as well as ever.
Right. So what I'm saying is, no matter what the weight is, it's all about the way that the headband and the things like that, the design of it is, if it's wearable for extended periods. Because there's some really, nicely designed headsets out there that are terrible after an hour. They're digging into your nose.
Well,
I've tried the Oculus a few times. Trust me.
That's true. The Meta Quest as well. I guess again, because it has to be so close to your face, it can also be a bit warm on your face as well, because you're basically strapping a giant computer to your face.
Well, that's the other thing with this. Is it standalone?
So I don't know about this one. It says that all the devices around it are feeding into it to some degree. So the watch, in Samsung's case, the watch or the Samsung phone or whatever. But I think it must be standalone.
It must be standalone.
It's not going to be powered.
We're talking about.
Yeah, this is not like the glasses that are feeding from the smartphone, right? This is going to be a computer built in entirely.
It's got a Snapdragon CPU in it. Of course, it's standalone, yeah. So everything will be running off that.
Yeah, but in fairness, my studio display's got an Apple A17 or something, A12 chip in it, I think. It doesn't really mean anything. It's not a computer in its own right.
Well, it could be.
It
just
not.
isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, same price. That was a great buy, Stephen Scott, by the way. Let me
Best
just remind you
monitor.
of that.
Best monitor for blind people. It's got a webcam in it, which I don't use. It's got speakers in it, which I don't use. And it's got a microphone in it, which is terrible. But other than that, it's the best purchase I've ever made.
Look, going back to the start here, let's wrap this up. Going back to the start of Am I Excited? I should be. This is exactly like the best VR headset. I know I keep saying VR, but that's how I refer to it. The best headset out there so far. And, all the things you can do with it, the fact that it's open to the App Store, all those Android, those thousands and hundreds of thousands of App Store apps that are available to you. This is actually amazing. I just honestly don't think there's any use for me or many visually impaired people.
Look, don't apologise for that. I don't see many people who are totally deaf jumping up and down when Sony brings out a new hi-fi. It's like with the greatest will in the world. Well, but it's true, isn't it? I mean, it's a fair equivalence. You wouldn't. I mean, we can't see the pictures. You've lost all your vision, so there's not any visual.
You're just about to say I've gone blind, then, Stephen Scott. That's so insensitive of you.
No, I said you've lost all your. What did I say?
No,
Visuals?
you were going down the gone. I know, I picked up on it. Not that I'm sensitive.
I noticed, yeah. You're prickly today.
You're burst into tears.
I'm going to start poking you today.
Yeah, but I get that. But you know what? At heart, I'm still a bit of a nerd and a geek.
Of course,
and I still love the idea of this technology because VR has been promised for decades, since the Lawnmower Man. VR has been promised as the next level. Sorry, you're too young. The Lawnmower Man was a movie about VR.
Was it?
And yes. Yeah,
I thought it was about gardening. I never watched it because I thought it'd be boring.
Oh, well, now you know. It's not a great film either way. But my point is that VR has always been the pinnacle of technology. And I've got to say, this is the best example of VR so far, I think.
The best example of VR so far?
Is the Samsung
quote.
Galaxy XR. You can have that one. It's a bit wordy.
Yeah, I think we'll work on that. Okay, fine. We'll certainly be talking more about it, and we'll be getting your thoughts. Well, yeah, and I also want to hear from those of you out there who've got some low vision that might think this would be useful to you. I have to say the price is interesting, $1,800 US, which is kind of what we imagined it would be yesterday when we talked about this, based on all the rumors that were going around. It's certainly more affordable. I mean, again, it's all relative, right? But it is more affordable than the Vision Pro. Is this the Vision Pro killer? I mean, I kind of wonder about this one because, well, it is in terms of price, because I would say it's more achievable to more people.
And functionality. Absolutely. This is much more open than the Vision Pro, which we've only just recently got the ability to use the pass-through cameras. And even then, it's only down to whoever they approve to use those cameras.
We don't know that yet, though, if the cameras or the app developers can actually access the cameras in this thing, right? Do we know that? It's not been sort of announced that we're talking about the Samsung one, right? Yeah.
No, they haven't announced that they can, but of course they can. You know what? I'm going to take a prediction and assumption here. Yes, they can. I can guarantee they can. There's absolutely no reason.
I think I'd refer to my previous answer.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll see.
I don't know.
See, but Stephen Scott?
Seem very
demand
sure.
an apology.
Listen, as I've told you before, Preece, anyone who tells me they're 100% sure of anything is a liar.
Okay. Well, I am not. I'm 100% sure. You can take that to the bank.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. ChatGPT has launched a new browser called Atlas.
Wow, an AI-powered browser, Stephen Scott.
Yeah, no, remind me who was doing this prior. Was it Perplexity that had the Comet browser? That was the first one I heard of which did this.
That's right. Yeah, I never really got into it.
No, I'd heard some interesting thoughts about it. I know some blind friends of ours had been using it, and that might be an area of interest when we talk to our guest on tomorrow's show about this, because Taylor Arndt is going to be joining us on the show tomorrow. They've been testing this out and wondering, how accessible it will be. Well, Taylor will give you the answers on tomorrow's show. It is an interesting idea. This is a browser which, it's kind of taking us to that next level again. where we're talking to, essentially our browser. We're being able to ask questions of it in the way you would with ChatGPT, but basically bringing the internet in its entirety into that, being able to load up websites, be able to question websites, be able to ask it to press buttons on our behalf. I'm thinking about, they always do the same. They always do the same examples when they were showcasing it. Oh, it's a recipe. I want to, cook this meal and I want to get these ingredients. And the example they used was interesting, right? They would go to this store and, it is able to determine what is required. It's be able to add all the items to the basket. It doesn't check out for you, but it will go so far as to load everything into the basket. I think that's quite cool. I think about, buying train tickets or flights, booking flights, hotels. These can all be tricky. Just being able to say, look, these are my dates. This is when I want to travel. This is when I want to come back. And it just goes off and figures it out for you and takes those actions. I think that'd be pretty cool. So, I'm intrigued by the potential here. But I think as we're going to learn tomorrow, accessibility's a bit of an issue in this early version, which is only available. This browser is only available on Mac OS at the moment. So they say Windows is coming soon, but not yet. Thoughts?
Kind of ironic. The whole point of AI for me in a browser is to make sites more accessible to me. I don't care about how can I, make a 5-course meal out of this packet of biscuits and a Brussels sprout. What I care about is, can you press the checkout button or pay now button because it's not accessible to me? That's all I care about. Being able to take actions on my behalf. Maybe doing the search and add it to my basket and check out all in one go. Okay, I get that. But it's all about accessibility for me when it comes to AI in browsers.
Well, of course. If it's not accessible, what's the point? Can't use it.
Well, and plus, with all the AI services we've got already, especially like with Copilot now, if you check the latest update to Copilot, we now have screen sharing on Windows. So, while you're browsing the web, if you turn on screen sharing, you can ask it questions about, now, again, can't take any action on anything on your system, so it can't click buttons for you. But you can ask it any question. Hey, summarize that, this web page for me, or that article, or how many whatevers are on this page, whatever you want. But of course, it's all about accessibility and taking action, and I just don't think we're there yet, even with this one. But we'll find out more with Taylor tomorrow.
Yeah, Taylor's going to join us tomorrow to talk about that, which kind of leads us on nicely to our next story. You've been reading about AppleVis, who are testing co-browse AI from InnoSearch on their website.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they're looking for beta testers to add the co-browse AI feature. So, yeah, as you rightfully said, InnoSearch brought this out, and we talked about this before, where you're able to talk to AI and ask it to do things and describe products and whatever else you want. And it's specifically to that website in this case. This is a Java programming language AI service that AppleVis are thinking of adding to their website, which actually makes total sense when you think about it. If someone's coming to, Apple products fresh as a newbie, and they want to ask about a certain article or how do I do this on the Apple Watch or whatever it may be, being able to use the natural language of AI to ask that rather than having to try and navigate, especially on the Mac with Safari, but trying to navigate through a website makes total sense. What?
Don't get me started on that one.
Yeah, I know. Please, yeah, let's leave it. Windows is the answer. But it's very interesting. So if you are interested in testing that out, do go to AppleVis. You'll find the article on the front page, right at the top, actually, in the recent articles about testing co-browser AI.
Yeah, we do have it on our Double Tap on Air website as well. We haven't mentioned too much about it because it's still in very early days of testing. But if you do want to try it out, you can. Of course, we hope that this will be a way people can access content more easily on our website as well. Because that's the whole thing, right? Being able to say, okay, I'm interested in this particular topic or this particular issue or this whatever. Then you can go off and find that article. The amount of times you get an email from someone saying, as we do here at Double Tap, someone saying, hey, I'd really like to hear that interview that you did with this person at this time, and I can't find it on the website. And there can be a whole host of reasons for that, mainly because Shaun and I built that website. So, that probably is the reason. I think we've managed to make we've made it very accessible. It's just that, the content no one can find.
Yeah, that's right. We got to make it difficult somehow. Yeah, I see this AI, especially the co-browser. I just see it as a really convenient and natural way to search for the content that you want on a website. I think it's a good idea, definitely.
Okay, let's move on to this one. This is an interesting story. A new... lots of tools are out there for making podcasts, right? But a lot of them are not particularly accessible. And there is one that is going to be very accessible. That is from Zoom, the PodTrak P4 Next. Now, there already was a PodTrak P4. I know because I bought one last month. And then I learned there's a new one coming out called the P4
Another
Next.
quality purchase from Stephen Scott.
Yeah,
put that with your display.
I've decided that whenever I buy something, I should try and wait a month to make the purchase, because at that point, whenever I've made the decision to buy it, something new comes out.
Early adopter. Yeah. There you go.
But, look, let's hear from Samuel Green. We've had Samuel on the show already, many times actually on the show previous, but we are going to have him back on very soon to talk about this. But here he is from the company video, sharing what is new about the PodTrak P4 Next and talking a little bit about the accessibility features built in.
This is Samuel from Zoom. Meet the PodTrak P4 Next. If you're starting a podcast or leveling one up, the key is great audio. The P4 Next makes great audio easy. 4 mic inputs, multiple call-in options, AI noise reduction, tone shaping, and voice compression work together so your show sounds broadcast ready from day one. AI noise reduction learns your environment and pulls out hums, buzzes, even street noise, keeping voices clear, natural, and detailed. Just press the button and stay silent while it's learning. When it's done, start your podcast confident that your voice will carry through. The tone button adds EQ and de-essing to smooth harshness and add warmth. And the built-in compressor keeps levels consistent, taming sudden shouts, laughter, and whispers so your mix stays balanced. The P4 Next also has an accessibility system for blind and low vision users. Voice guidance lets you navigate menus and settings with audible prompts in your headphones. Good luck and enjoy creating.
So Samuel is going to come on soon, I'm sure, to talk more about this. The PodTrak P4 was fairly accessible in the sense that, it was quite simple to use. You would plug it into your computer, you would choose that as your input and output source on your computer, and then you could record straight in. You had headphone jacks and XLR inputs on that as well, just like this one does. But the menu system wasn't accessible at all. So if you wanted to use those sound pads, if you wanted to check in with any settings, you'd have to get some sighted help on that P4 version. The P4 Next version, which is a new design, a new style, and of course has more functionality in it.
New design?
It is a new design, yes. It's not the same design, so you won't, if you've got a P4, you're not able to just upgrade to this. You'd have to buy the new edition of this.
Different ergonomics on this one.
No idea what you're talking about. But the new design has all these new functionalities in it, and of course has that spoken menu system as well. I've got to say, I think I'll probably buy this one because I really like this little stuff that they.
Oh, it's absolutely great news! Amazing accessibility, fantastic. Except for everyone that's bought one already, who's going to be absolutely annoyed by this.
I will say, though, there's a fantastic PodTrak P4 light use available for sale.
Yeah, check eBay. There's going to be a lot.
There's going to be a few of those from the blind community, I think. But I know it's very popular with a lot of people, especially if you want to record. Obviously, the idea here is you get 4 people in a room and you can put them all together and you can record everyone's microphone and all that. But for a lot of blind people who do shows like this or want to create podcasts with reviews, they want to be able to connect their phone, they want to be able to connect their computer, they want to be able to record all of that on individual tracks so that you can edit it later. And that's one of the benefits of this kind of device. Now, there's 2 ways to connect. You can buy a little adapter, which you can plug in for Bluetooth, or you can actually take a 3.5 millimeter, what's called a TRRS cable, and you can take that from your phone straight into or a computer, I guess, straight into the Zoom recorder, and it would record that on its own track as well. So
any audio device,
basically anything.
Very flexible, yeah.
Built more for podcasters, I'd say. There is one called Live Track, which I see they've updated as well. That doesn't seem to have accessibility in it, which is a shame.
What?
But the PodTrak P4 Next, which is the one I think a lot of our audience might be interested in, This is good. Now, I will say, this requires you to have your own microphones, okay? So you often think about Zoom. If you're thinking about Zoom, those handy recorders that are out there, the H series, H2 Essential, H4 Essential, H6 Essential, all with that voice guidance system built in. All of that is a microphone as well as being an audio interface. And the higher versions of those, going from the H4 to the H6, they do have XLR inputs as well, so you can plug in more microphones. But this is purely an audio interface with those connections to plug the audio microphones or the microphones into, rather than being a microphone of its own on its own right. So just be aware of that. So if you were buying this, you would be expected to have external microphones as well. So it's a kind of an upgrade on all of that.
I know people love it. I know lots of people have got the P4. So yeah, it's a very popular device.
And price-wise, I think I saw it as €199. That's what I've seen it on the website.
What's that in real money, Stephen
Absolutely
Scott?
No idea. None of your Euro apologist nonsense.
It's probably around 400 Canadian.
Yeah, let's just assume that, yeah.
Yeah, let's just make it. Let's pluck it out of the air.
Well, basically, I always think with euros, right. You drop about 50, and then with Canadian, you add about 150. That all seems to kind of even itself out.
Well done. There's a Stephen Scott algorithm.
That's absolutely right. Take away 50 for UK, add 150 for Canadian. There you go. That is absolutely correct.
I think that's a very reasonable price, to be honest, especially for something, it always is, something that's accessible. All I can say is, Rode, are you paying attention here?
Yeah,
it's doable. Please make your stuff accessible as well.
Absolutely.
And well done, Zoom.
Stick around. We're going to get into the inbox next. Double Tap thanks TurtleBack Cases for supporting the show and for creating gear with purpose, passion, and lived experience. It all started when founder Brian Eremita designed a case for the original Braille note, inspired by his son's vision loss. That personal connection turned into a mission. Today, Turtleback still crafts high-quality leather cases for note-takers and accessible tech, offering custom fits for the Mantis Q40, Focus 40, Victor Reader Stream 3, Braille eMotion, Blind Shell Classic 3, and many more. Everything is made in the USA, backed by a 90-day satisfaction guarantee and shipped worldwide via FedEx with tracking. Use promo code DT12 for 12% of your order at turtlebacklv.com.
Get in touch with Double Tap. Email feedback@doubletaponair.com. Leave us a voicemail at 1-877-803-4567. And now you can send an audio or video message to us on WhatsApp. That number is 1-613-481-0144.
Okay, Shaun, I think it's time.
What?
For this.
Sorry. Oh!
We get email. We get your email every day.
Well, they said that a minute ago.
I'm not doing it.
Mail today.
Oosh. I'm not doing the ding-dongs. I can't give up my ooshes, but everything else is gone. All right?
Okay. Yeah, I think, your mind's gone as well by the sound of it.
Sorry.
I literally said a minute ago, we're going to emails. Completely lost.
Okay. All right, sorry. Carry on. I'm totally back in the room now. Let's go.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Right, shall we hear from Peter? I haven't heard from Peter in a while.
It's been ages.
Hi, Stephen, Shaun and all Double Tappers. It's Pete in Robin Hood County. Hoping all is well. Thank you for all the shows as usual.
Oh.
Well, as I got the prediction about the iPhone Slim just about right, I'll offer another one. In about 5 years, you'll be able to go to your optician, for those that have glasses or even want to buy them. You'll be offered smart glasses as one of your choices. And of course, with the app developers coming on board with your Be My Eyes and Seeing AI and some navigation apps, etc., you'll be able to do all the things that you do on your smartphone. You can now do them on your Meta Ray-Ban glasses. It's looking very interesting at the moment. In about 10 years, I think you'll see the smartphone starting to decline because of the increased use of these smart glasses. If I'm alive then, I might buy a pair in 5 years, but for me, it's AI, oh no, what's next at the moment. it's all good, and I'm looking forward to its future. But I'm going to offer that prediction, and let's hope that Double Tap will be able to look back and see if I'm right or not. Anyway, thank you for all the good shows, and take care from Pete in Robin Hood County.
10 years?
I'll remember that email. Don't worry. You can rely on me. I can refer back to it in 10 years' time.
We should have we should have a folder somewhere called In 10 Years that then both of us completely lose track of. Can't remember what it's called. Never find it.
Forget the folder completely. Yes, I think you're... you are absolutely correct that every pair of glasses probably will be smart glasses in the future. And Microsoft recently came out and said, you know what, we see the mouse and keyboard setup just disappearing into history, right? Everything's going to be AI. It's just going to be talking to your computer. I still don't quite fully believe that's going to happen yet. And, you know, I think AI's got a long way to go. I know we keep saying how quickly it's evolving, but it still gets so much wrong. And I've noticed in it more and more and more that people, you know, the general public now are just starting to say it's just not that reliable. So, I think you're right, but I don't think it's going to happen for a long time. I think 10 years is being even a bit optimistic, to be honest.
And we'll still see LinkedIn posts that say, Braille is not dead. Stop saying Braille is dead.
What's LinkedIn, Stephen Scott?
It is, have you not heard of it? It's the world's biggest bragging network.
Oh, that's new. Well
Everyone
done.
on
Thank you.
there has achieved so much. It's incredible. It's the world's biggest pat yourself in the back network ever.
Do you know what else we need with these smart glasses? We need more power. We need the ability for them to run everything standalone, obviously. This being basically a companion accessory to your smartphone, as they are at the minute, is a hindrance, right? And obviously you can't get rid of the smartphone until they can do it on their own.
I think the reality is what we're seeing with Galaxy XR, as they're calling it, which is running Android XR, what we're seeing with that is where it's all going. That is the end result of everything we're talking about.
Absolutely.
So we're kind of seeing it as two categories at the moment of, where are the glasses? Yeah, okay, that's a headset, but I want the glasses. The truth is, it's all going to converge at some point into one device, because that's what I think the people who have working eyes want.
Oh, absolutely. It's all about the visuals. And the reason there are two categories of normal, in air quotes, glasses and headset is because of the display technology. So far, it's just not capable to get it into a reasonable size of lens. I would argue the Meta displays are probably the closest so far with the new, I believe it's called waveguide technology. It almost projects it from the arm of the glasses onto cuts in the lens, and that's how they're doing it. So until they can get that to 4K resolution with high refresh rates, people can watch their favorite Netflix videos on their Ray-Ban glasses.
All day battery life. Yeah,
all day battery life. Yeah, that's what they're waiting for. And yeah, we will get there eventually. Absolutely.
But will we be alive to see it? That is the question that Peter's asking.
Pete's not sure, obviously.
Pete doesn't think he's going to be here.
Slightly pessimistic there, Pete.
I have to be honest, I'm not sure I'll be here either. It'll be you. It'll just be you.
Good. Yes, I'll never go away.
You and Mickey Buttons, and it'll be great.
Yeah. How is Mickey Buttons?
How old is Mickey Buttons? Is he young?
He's about 22 or something.
It's disgusting, isn't it?
He's full of energy all the time. He's never. He's always doing something. Three things at once. Gets on my nerves.
I know. Here I am trying to work out how to, interact with my web browser on Safari. Taking me all day just to get to a heading. Oh, dear.
I know. Yeah, I forget where we are in the show halfway through. I mean, the youth. The young.
I feel at the end of the show we should have an appeal for a new cast on this show. I feel like I should just advertise my own job at this rate. Okay, let's get Scott's email on, because this is about canes, I think. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Double Tap. My name's Scott. I'm a visual aid product tester, testing technology for the blind and low vision community.
Ooh.
In addition to that, I run a YouTube channel called The Blind Striker, where I do tech reviews and share some stuff that I beta test. I am reaching out today to ask if you guys would like to review a light sword Star Wars themed blind cane. My friend who is blind, his name is Steven, and he creates light sword blind canes.
Not you.
So these are walking telescopic blind canes. These canes have several colors and sound effects depending on the cane that you choose. Some canes have more colors and sound effects, while other canes just have a handful of colors and a few sound effects. Now, these canes are walking telescopic canes, like I mentioned, but they also can use Ambutech tips, screw-on Ambutech tips for the canes. And I'd have to say my two favorite canes that my friend Steven makes are the haptic feedback light sword blind cane, where it uses haptic feedback vibrations to control the cane. So if you're blind and deaf, this would be a perfect cane for you. Now, another cane that is really cool is a waterproof light sword blind cane. This is a very lightweight blind cane, so it is 8 ounces, and it's waterproof, and it's mainly meant for light tapping and probing. So if you have low vision and you have enough vision to walk around without a cane, but you want to let people know, hey, you know, I'm blind, this would be a perfect cane for you as well. But yeah, there's definitely a huge variety of light sword blind canes to choose from. And if you want to learn more about it, check out my TikTok at The Blind Striker, my YouTube at The Blind Striker. You can also go to Steven's website at sidewaysinnovations.com. Thank you so much, and I love Double Tap.
Oh, wow.
Steven, Star Wars themed. Are you into it?
Yeah. Absolutely not. But yeah, I need to watch a Star, is it Trek movie?
Star Wars, Steven Scott. You must know the lightsaber.
No, I don't know anything about these movies. I know nothing about it. I've never watched a Star Wars movie in my life.
Thank you, The Blind Striker. I will definitely check out your YouTube channel. The Blind Striker sounds cool. I would love to try one of these out. I like the fact that it's telescopic as well.
You love this, don't you? You love a telescope, don't you?
I do. I love a telescoping cane, I must say, and a light up one at that. I would like to try one of these out because I've noticed recently, as the winter is drawing in, that when I'm taking the dog out in the morning, everyone's got torches and things. I'm feeling left out. I want a nice, bright... Yeah. What? Sorry. What? Not flaming torches and pitchforks, Stephen Scott, like some monster movie.
I was going to say, what kind of small village do you live in?
All right, flashlights. Oh, sorry, Stephen Scott.
There's burning witches in the corner at the same time.
It is Halloween nearly.
That's true.
Yeah, no, this can be, look, being serious for a minute, this can be a safety thing as well. Remember the See Me cane? We spoke to someone at CSUN. I believe his name's Luke or Lucky. Anyway, the See Me cane.
That cannot be right.
I'm pretty sure that's possibly right. Now, he had a few accidents being hit by cars, and he designed a light-up cane exactly for this reason. So, you know, to be seen. So, yeah, very cool. And if you're into your Star Wars, vroom, vroom, vroom. I'm all for it. I want to try this out.
I'm trying to think what I've got on my board that sounds anything like that. No, I want one that does that. Can I get that one? Is that a Star Wars thing?
No, almost definitely not.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. No, look, I mean, I have to say,
thank you, Scott.
Again, being serious for a second about it, for me, the light sensitivity thing with me would make this horrible to use personally, because I would just really struggle with all this light. You know, just waving this huge light around in front of me. You could
choose your colour, a nice red, maybe.
Walking down the street with a big red guy, is that wise? I don't know. But look, again, this is a choice thing, right? And for a lot of people, this could be really useful. And you're absolutely right. There's a lot. I think the other thing that kind of caught me there was the fact that for someone who's deafblind, with the haptic feedback as well, that could be quite interesting. Again, you know, I don't know if this is, I'm just hearing this for the first time. It sounds, is it more for fun, or is it more for adding a bit of personality to the cane? What are you reading into this?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll be honest with you. The sound effects does make it sound like it's more for fun and personalization, doesn't it?
Which again is great.
The safety aspect, and again, yeah, absolutely right. I mean,
I know a few sighted people who probably buy this.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Star Wars fans especially, but, you know, it may make more enticing to some children. You know, we talked about the problem with getting people to use white canes and accepting them. Maybe this is another aspect of this. And hey, why not? You want to personalize your cane? Sounds cool. But I think, for a long time with when I had some vision, but night blindness, this would have been great. Just something to light up the side of the curb maybe that I could see in my tunnel vision. This would have been useful to me. So, yeah, sounds cool.
Yeah. I mean, it was interesting. Scott talked about it being suitable for light tapping and probing. And I thought, makes me think of my next door neighbor. So similar kind of thing there. But, yeah.
I don't know what to say to that. I don't even want to dive any further into it.
Yeah,
Let's move on. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Scott. Good luck with it. All seriousness, good luck with it. And yes, Shaun would love to review that. So I'm sure you guys can figure that one out between you. Although that will involve Scott sending you an email, Shaun. You'll have to read that. That's the only thing.
Yeah, it will happen, possibly. Just keep getting in touch with me, Scott.
I would obviously just set your email. Can you do a thing where an email, it just sends it every day? Like just continually just repeats the email.
You know what I'm going to have to do?
You know you get recurring calendar invites. Can you get recurring emails?
I will at some point just have to give out my personal phone number on here because it's the only time
anyone ever bothers.
To me.
I know.
Just ring me.
Okay, let's move on to Nicole, who's got a question.
Hello, Stephen and Shaun, and all the double tappers. It's Nicole calling from Saskatoon.
Hey, Nicole.
I have a question about Audible. I'm trying to get into it, and I get to the part where it says you have 30 seconds to enter this access code that it emails, and I get stuck. How do I get around that? Thoughts? Please help. Thanks. Bye-bye.
I've not had this issue. Have you? Is this something you've come up against?
Oh, I hate to say it, but my screen reader spoke over the start of that, so I missed what we were talking about. The 30 seconds to comply, I heard. What service are we talking about?
30 seconds to comply. With what? Now, this could be an interesting game. Okay, no, we're talking here about Audible in Nicole's case. So she's trying to log into her Audible account. It's coming up saying it's sending a code, and you've got 30 seconds to enter the code.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I haven't come across this, but sometimes you will get this timed response thing when it comes to using authenticator apps, Microsoft Authenticator, Google Authenticator, things like that. I haven't found a workaround unless there's sometimes you will get different login options. But when it comes to Audible, honestly, I haven't used it, so I don't know. But we'll throw this out to our listeners. It's just a case of practicing beforehand, depending on what you're using, obviously, jumping to the app switcher, setting up a gesture for a quick copy. It can be difficult. There is no easy fix for this unless there's a different sign-in option. And maybe there is with Audible. Honestly, I don't know.
Well, I know on the iPhone, for example, and I'm not sure where you're going here with this one, Nicole, but, with the iPhone in particular, it will sometimes autofill from the message. So once the code is sent, either to mail, usually to your Apple Mail, it seems to do it with. I don't think it would work with another app like Outlook.
No, it does.
Does it?
Yeah, I use Outlook. And if you get an email with a verification code or a text message with a verification code,
it will autofill.
When you double tap on the text field to enter it, above the 1, you will find, if it's a number, but above the Q or the 1 on your on-screen keyboard, you will find the number and it will say from email or from messages. And you just double tap on that and it will autofill it from your email. So you don't have to, go to the mail app or text message.
I did get one the other day and I'm trying to rack my brains to think what I was logging into, but something came up and it said something very similar. And then I realized that the message wasn't what I thought it was. It said basically for 30 seconds. But what it was actually telling me was that it would send me the code in that time. So I kind of wasn't sure what that meant, but it wasn't counting down to basically the point where I had to put the code in. It was telling me that it would be available in that time. So I think what often happens is people don't, if they don't instantly get the message, they think something's gone wrong, so they continually keep
that's
requesting
the case here.
That might be what it is. That might be, because I can't imagine, that seems, for anybody, that seems very short an amount of time to ask to put in a code.
Especially for an audiobook service, seems a little bit short-sighted, but I've let my Audible account lapse, so I haven't logged into Audible in a long time.
No, well, mine's is active, but I don't log into it. Really, I've done all that stuff. So yeah, and again with that whole autofill, and that tends to do it really quickly for me. So yeah, check that out, Nicole. Let us know how you got on. Also, let that 30 seconds run out. Try getting the code in there, and if it still works, then it's obviously just telling you it's sending you the code in that period of time. Because like I said, that seems a little bit odd that it would do that so quickly.
She didn't mention didn't mention the platform that she's using, did she?
Oh, let's listen to it again.
Hello,
I'm sorry.
Stephen and Shaun, and all the double tappers. It's Nicole calling from Saskatoon. I have a question about Audible. I'm trying to get into it, and I get to the part where it says you have 30 seconds to enter this access code that it emails, and I get stuck. How do I get around that? Thoughts? Please help. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Okay. All right. So it is your email. So again, it does come down to the platform you're on then. If you are using an iPhone, as Stephen mentioned, you do have the autofill where you don't have to go to your mail app or search for the email at all. It will just show up above the one or on your on-screen keyboard as an option to autofill it. So that's an option. Anywhere else, if we're talking Windows or things like that, I don't think there is a quick way. Just make sure your mail app is open in your inbox, and just you're going to have to practice to do the speed run to get it done. It's tricky, though.
It doesn't seem right to me at all.
It doesn't seem right. Yeah, I would hope there's another way around that. Yeah, we'll have to ask our listeners.
Yeah, let us know how you get on, Nicole. Let's hear from Leander.
Hi, Stephen and Shaun. Hope you're both well. Thanks for a great show. Two good names for you. I think Bodget and Scarpa came out top for me. Now you can decide amongst yourselves which one is Bodget and which one is Scarpa. So that'll give you a laugh, I'm sure, working that out. And also, I was listening with interest too when you were talking about that, when Shaun said that people who work in IT should know what screen readers are available for the blind. And I thought at first, well, no, they won't do. But I was thinking he meant just in general, because obviously if you haven't worked in that field, it isn't something you look into. But when he said if a blind person puts in for a job there, then they should research it. Well, yeah, they definitely should. But it's like you say, Stephen, if Uber are in court because of guide dog refusals, what hope is there, you know? I remember going on a local market with my grandma and granddad when I was younger, and lovely guy on there, and I don't know whether he never said, but we never asked, but he was selling all old-fashioned toys and things, like models of like Betty Boo and all that. And I was about 11, 12 at the time, and I'd just started using the internet and that. And he said, I'm very interested in making my website accessible. He said, I think it's really important that everybody should have the same, way of using it. He said, so I've actually devised my website so that it works with a screen reader. And because I said, I've just started using the internet at school. I told him that after, and he gave us this piece of paper with the address on. And me, teacher's aide, was really impressed at the time, because she said it wasn't often that you got that. And, well, it was true. And it was excellent. But anyway, I just thought that was out of interest. And thanks once again for, as always, great shows.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sad reality that we live in, that I still see headlines today, blind person gets job, essentially, and it's like, that's a headline I did see an interesting one the other day. I don't know if you saw this, Shaun. It was in the UK. I think it was in the UK anyway. There was a young guy who had been volunteering for a store for a number of months, quite a period of time actually, been volunteering. And then I think the young guy had autism, and he had asked if he could potentially get a job, be paid like everyone else.
For this work that I've been doing for months
nothing.
Anyway, yeah.
And they threw him out, said no.
Well, hang on. Threw him out gives a particular image.
Didn't quite,
As in picked him up and threw him out of the building.
Well, they may as well have done. They told him, no thanks, that's it. No more from you. And I just think this is, I don't know. I really don't know where we're at with disability in this world. I mean, I'm even noticing at a lot of these big tech events now that there's less mention of accessibility coming along. And I don't know if that's because of this whole culture of abandoning DEI, and no one dare mention DEI anymore because who won't be happy about it and come after you. So I just think it's a very delicate time, and we get so far, don't we? I mean, we think about how far we've come as people, as capable people as we are, but we are held back by so much of society around us. We really are, and I don't really know how we fix this. I don't know how we solve this issue.
We shout. We talk,
we just keep talking,
we discuss,
I suppose,
we have a conversation, we get angry, or we get really respectful and polite, whatever the situation calls for, really. Yeah, I noticed. But I mean, it just shows there, right? Betty Boop, the market trader, man, has managed to make his site accessible when Leander was 11 years old. I mean, if someone wants to make their site accessible, it's all about knowing that there is a need there in the first place. And unless we tell people we want access to that, how would they know? And I still stand by that. IT departments should know about assistive technology. That's their whole point of being there. Of course, keeping the business systems running. Absolutely.
That's not really their purpose of being. It's not to know about blind people and what we use in tech. I mean,
no. But I can guarantee you, they've spent hours and hours doing some sort of HR course on, dealing with people or what's expected of them, health and safety wise. And I'm sorry, having a disabled person as part of the workforce shouldn't be an outlier, shouldn't be unusual.
But it is. Of course it is. That's the problem.
I'm sorry. Yeah, but we go through, there's procedures and guidelines in place for lots of unusual situations in employment, and disability should absolutely be up there for that. They should know this stuff. They should just know it. Sorry.
Ooh, well, there you go.
All right, Stephen
started just in the last minute. We woke you up.
Thank you for that.
Thanks, Leander. I don't know if that's where you were going with that one, but we got there in the end.
And what were you making in the background as well? Thank you. I'm always interested.
I always love a wander around Leander's house. And that's it for us today. Catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.